Largs, so there's no telling what might happen this episode.
That's fine. I'm super tired. I
Mm,
was just telling Paul I'm doing 8 podcasts between now and Sunday.
it's a lot.
Not not like there's 5 separate podcasts, but I gotta record 3 episodes of Sasquatch. But
Wait, 5 different podcasts?
yeah,
What are you doing?
no.
Oh
Would you
boy.
did we
In
lose him
AC?
again? Did what'd you
Am
say?
I gone? I said, what are you doing besides Saswat and AC?
I have Sasquatch or AC tonight. I have the show called Crypto Logic that we're being interviewed on tomorrow night for Small Town Monsters, and then we have 3 episodes of Sasquatch on Thursday. I'm co-hosting or guest hosting on the Bigfoot show on Saturday, and then we have another guest. Like we're being interviewed on this Beyond the Edge radio show on Sunday.
So you're basically doing that thing where you do a circuit to promote your thingy.
Yeah, like we didn't intend it this way, but it's actually really good that we're doing all of this week because our Kickstarter goes live on Sunday. So it
That's
just worked
cool.
out. Yeah.
Uh, so are you gonna sell signed copies of the DVD?
I didn't think about selling signed ones. But yeah, there's copies of the DVD. We have a really cool copy of that poster. We're gonna have like a full-size movie poster version of that poster that Jeff did, and some other stuff I'm not gonna say because we're live.
Word. Well, uh, I'd say that if you get some signed copies, they could probably sell for just a little less than the regular copies.
Yeah, exactly. The problem with the signed copies is if we sell signed copies, we got to crack open the shrink wrap because I think they're all going to be shrink wrapped.
Just sign the shrink wrap.
That's true.
Oh boy.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Yes, no, and maybe in that order.
All right. So Paul, give me a rundown real quick. What is the news we're doing?
Well, there's a few things like Secret Wars and the new Fantastic Four trailer.
Yeah.
Um, I was also going to mention the fact that David Tennant is cast in the Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Do
an
you have
interesting casting.
any of the image stuff? Like
I hadn't really followed it that strongly.
What's
Like,
Image?
is that a real thing?
it's yeah, they make comics sometimes that are decent.
Oh, okay.
I
Just
didn't
kidding.
They're
know.
just I mean, I hate to break it
JK.
to listeners, but they're another publisher, just a little, that's all.
JK.
I've
They are
never
not
heard of
the
them.
salvation of comics.
I thought it was
Welcome to the
just
show.
Marvel and that other
Dark
guy.
Horse,
No, what's Dark
That
Horse?
other guy?
IDW,
Uh, what's
Boom Studios?
uh,
Boom. Oh, Boom. Dynamite?
Viz Media?
Visit.
Viz
Oh,
Media?
yeah, that's a company that exists.
Have you guys heard of the Comics Bento subscription thing?
The what?
Yes.
Comics Bento?
Yes. I
Comics
just saw
Bento.
it. It's like
It's like Loot Crate, but only graphic
right,
novels.
right.
Why?
It's,
What do you mean, why?
Doesn't Loot Crate do comics? Like
Well,
it's
sometimes you'll get an issue of something,
yeah.
but the way I understand it, they just do like a theme,
Mhm.
and they put together an assortment of graphic novels based on that theme.
I feel like we should be talking about this on the show.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
I
bring it up
suppose
on the show.
All right, let's go.
I'm
You guys
highly
ready?
tempted.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm tempted to. It's around the same price as Loot Crate too.
You're breaking up really bad for me.
It's yeah. The only person that's breaking up from me is Alan for some reason.
Maybe my internet's bad, or maybe Paul's
Your internet,
internet's infecting mine.
my internet's actually doing okay today.
It's because it's drawing off mine's power.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
was looking up this image publisher
Okay.
thing that you mentioned.
Image.
I got an image to protect. Oh, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. Well, that was an awful, awful sound.
What was it?
Okay.
I really don't know.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, girls. Here we go. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Paul, sorry.
Okay. When you said Paul, I hit start.
I did too.
I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure you knew the episode number we were on.
132. It's 132.
Okay. All right. Ready? Sorry. My bad. Ready?
Where'd it go?
1, 2,
What?
3.
No, we're not doing that.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 1, 2,
Oh, gosh.
3.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
I'm not
Are
serious.
you ready?
I'm trying to be.
You ready? Ready? Here we
Yes.
go. 1, 2. Are you ready?
I'm gonna go when you say go. I mean, that's what's gonna happen.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ancillary Characters, episode 100.
Who are they? Who are we? And who are we dealing with?
Who the heck are you?
Who that you think you I don't know what you're talking about.
Who are these sick people?
And who are these two attractive young people?
Who are those guys?
Ancillary Characters, the podcast of the website ancillarycharacters.blogspot.com. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Seth Breedlove. I'm joined by my two best pals in the whole world from the state of North Carolina
Alan Boone.
and from the state of Kentucky.
Paul Shirley.
Alan, how's the weather there? Are you guys getting any of this blizzard?
Well, right now, according to the weather app, it says mostly clear, 36 degrees, and it might be partly cloudy Thursday. But Wednesday and Friday and Saturday are sunny, with highs in the mid-40s.
Okay.
Sunday, it's supposed to rain,
What is that?
and it's Monday as well, but the temperature will be in the high 40s then.
Okay, good. All right. Well, now we know in case we're planning a trip to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Come on
in the
down.
next couple days. Yeah, we're clear. We're in the clear. I don't know about you guys. I actually kind of wanted to be out on the East Coast with this, 2 feet of snow coming in.
I could use a good snow day, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
We had some snow today, but it wasn't anything heavy.
We've got maybe 6 to 8 inches right now here, but it didn't all fall at once. It's been over the course of like a week and a half. But I don't know. I told my boss today that I wished we would get snowed out of coming into work so I could just stay home and relive my youth when Ethan and I would go out in the backyard and build igloos and take out all of our Lego and G.I. Joe figures and play with. Did anyone else do that? Like you'd go outside with your toys and play with them in the snow? Am I the only one?
I never really got that much enough snow for that. Once from the time I was probably 10 years old and up, I didn't get a whole lot of snow. But I did go out in the snow and I would build like forts and stuff. But I didn't usually take my toys out because I feared that I would lose them in the snow and they'd be gone forever.
Yeah. Paul, snow toys?
I don't know about toys. We did a lot of sledding and things like that in the snow. Like, we just played in the snow.
Boring stuff.
Whenever I was in college,
Boring.
it snowed so much, and there was one time I walked out in my residence hall, and right there on the little lawn was an igloo. And this kind of igloo, I could crawl in, right? And then stand up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somebody allegedly slept in there. Whenever I crawled in there was cardboard boxes kind of broken down and laid out, and some blankets and covers and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I mean, something about the warmth. It's like crawling back into the womb. You're in this nice confined space. There's this feeling of safety. Yeah. Everything was
I'm
Ice
not really
Planet
sure
Hoth.
where you're going with this.
I don't know. I miss basically what I'm saying is I miss the old days. I want to be
When you were
8
in your
again.
mother's womb, that's,
I really miss the really old days when I was still in my mother's womb. I
That's
think
pretty
we probably
intense,
need to
man.
move on. All right.
that's
News.
intense. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to What's Up with Paul, or the segment where Seth never does the music the same way twice. How'd you all like it when he cut me off in the intro? That was pretty slick, wasn't it?
I've never done that before. It was a total accident.
Yeah.
Alan just sent us a picture of this igloo. I got to tell you, is that the igloo?
Yeah.
Is that the igloo, Alan?
That's the one.
Yes.
That is incredible.
Yeah, like I was impressed.
Yeah, see, I thought you were saying that they took like a mound of snow and just fashioned it into an igloo. This looks as if someone actually took the time to construct an igloo out of individual pieces of snowy ice. That's incredible.
Yeah, I like how the snow melts a little bit on the top and then freezes into a layer.
Mm-hmm.
They broke that up and used it to construct the igloo.
Incredible. Just incredible.
Something else. I mean, it's really tall. That's the thing.
It is.
So
That's what she
let's talk about some things. Okay, some news-related things and such. For example, was it last week that Marvel decided to just go ahead and drop the ball, or not drop the ball, but drop the news that
Drop their balls.
come on, guys, come on. Marvel's balls dropped last week, and
That's true.
the news was Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Was that last week?
It was. I think it was last week, yes.
I've lost all concept of time, basically, at this point.
Well, Paul, at this point, Alan's screen has gone completely black, so that's probably not helping your concentration.
I can see him.
Can you? I only see a black screen.
I just reduced my bandwidth. I don't know if that's why, because I'm still getting y'all. Sounds like y'all are talking into a fan. You know.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. So Marvel announced that they were going to be coming out with a big press release and that it was going to be a big deal and that everyone needed to be present for that. So they dropped the news that they are indeed doing in this whole Secret Wars thing, which they'd already announced in name, and they started dropping all these teasers, like they teased House of M, everything. Basically every big Marvel event you could think of or anything memorable from Marvel over the last 20 years. They released a teaser image tying it into summer of 2015. They detailed that as the big event coming up, which is entitled Secret Wars, which will redefine the Marvel Universe, more or less. The Ultimate Universe and the 616 Marvel Universe, as well as all the others where all these other things have taken place, will all be dumped together in one place, which will be called Battle World. Yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I assume they're all just going to fight to the death, and whoever is still standing at the end wins and gets to stay. I mean, the truth of the matter is we don't really know what's going to happen, but it is written by Jonathan Hickman, and this is being touted as the culmination of the Avengers/New Avengers story that Jonathan Hickman has been crafting since the beginning of Marvel Now, with all of this incursion nonsense. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
And when I say nonsense, I'm not trying to, be patronizing, because I actually think it's been really good, especially since after they got Infinity behind them. So there's all this talk going on about whether or not it's actually a reboot. We don't really know. We don't know what's going to come after that. We just know that basically everything's coming together that this probably will be the final end to the Ultimate Universe, that they're kind of opening the door for them to do whatever they want with all their characters. I expect some people won't make it through. Some characters that are notable probably won't make it through. And it's being drawn by Jonathan Hickman and written by Esad Ribic. So those are
I
both
think you just
good
said
things.
that backwards.
Did I say it backwards? Written by Jonathan Hickman and drawn by Esad Ribic?
There you go.
That's the right way. However, I said it the other time.
That's fine. Did you read the original Secret War? Have we talked about the original Secret War?
I don't think I've ever actually read all of it.
Okay, I mean it's not anything great. It's very like 1980s, but this still sounds shockingly similar to that. It's like Crisis on Infinite.
Well, it has the same
Earth
name. I mean,
meets Battle World.
I do find it funny that Marvel and DC are basically both launching the same event this summer. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it's all said and done, I'm sure they'll both be very different, but they're both I'm going to use this word, convergence of multiple universes into one place.
Right.
That's the basic premise of both.
Yeah.
Alan's back.
So you didn't even mention. Did you mention the fact that basically the way Marvel teased this was that they were like relaunching? They made it sound as if they were rebooting the universe.
Well, I mentioned that there's a lot of basically speculation and argument over whether or not they believe this is actually going to be some kind of reboot.
Right, like a new 52 style reboot, which I don't think it is. But
I don't either.
Real quick, like the Ultimate Universe has, I think it lost its way a long time ago. It should have gone away a long time ago. The Ultimate Universe is cool, and it's a cool concept, and I wish they would not have taken the focus off of it like they did. They should have done a few things. They should have done a reboot of the Ultimate U every few years. It was begging for it. But I think the problem was that Ultimate Spider-Man was so freaking good that to reboot that particular title would have kind of ruined what Brian Michael Bendis was doing there. Anyway, the Ultimate U has needed to go away for a long time. So
I agree.
Just for that fact, I'm hoping the Ultimate U goes away. I'm glad Miles is in the regular Marvel U because I like that character. And as far as the event, I mean, Hickman, we've all talked already about Hickman's Avengers, and we're all fans. And I loved Infinity, and I'm sure I'll love this. I have such a hard... This is really being hyped as like their huge event, and it seems like this very straightforward story, and yet Jonathan Hickman is writing it. So I'm interested to see if he's going to kind of change up his style to be more popcorn, fun summer event for this thing.
Or if it'll turn out to be just as weird as everything else he does.
Yeah.
And I say weird in a good way, not in a bad way. I mean, I love Jonathan Hickman.
Right.
So I'm particularly fond of what he did with Fantastic Four, and I think that once all this new Avengers stuff is finished, I'll probably feel the same way about it as a completed thing. So I'm a fan of Hickman's, but like you said, this isn't the book that I would typically pin him for.
Right.
Based on what we know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Alan?
Well, I think that this could be an event that could be pretty cool, or it could be an event that could be a little less cool than cool, you know? I'm looking forward to it either way. I like Jonathan Hickman. I'm hoping he does go with the more mind-bending stuff, because I like that about him. But as far as reboots and all that kind of stuff goes, hey, whatevs. I think it's weird that Marvel's doing a reboot basically after the New 52, whenever everybody was all like, ooh, New 52 is dumb.
Well, everyone was really, really amped about the New 52 until it came out and fizzled hard.
And
Yeah,
was dumb.
can we talk about that real quick? Like, if this does end up being a reboot,
Which I don't expect it will.
how do we feel if it's a full New 52 style reboot? How do we feel about like Marvel erasing continuity and restarting everything? Because
I don't see
was
that happening.
I was okay, but I'm saying like just say speculate that it does happen. How would you feel if it did?
Not as affected as I did when DC did it.
I feel like Marvel's universe.
What?
What's
What
that,
did you
Alan?
say, Seth?
I feel like Marvel's universe has, in general, been more coherent than DC's. So I'm surprised that they would do this, and I think it's a dumb move if they do.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say because like I was so defensive of the New 52, and Paul and I made no bones about the fact that it kind of got us both really reinvested in comics at that time. But I feel like if Marvel does it, having already seen this from DC, it would just feel like an also ran, and seeing how badly DC dropped the ball on it, it would make me question Marvel's ability to pull it off. But having said that, I'm like Paul. I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to be a reboot.
I don't, but even if it were, I mean, what's it going to reboot?
Well, I'm talking like reset continuity, like a new 50. If it was a complete line-wide New 52 reset, can you see Marvel, like let's say Marvel learned from DC's mistakes, right? So they literally erase all continuity and start over from issue number 1, no prior continuity. You know how Batman kept like the previous Morrison stuff in play and all that? Like maybe they learned from that and they say, you know what, that just complicated the timeline horrifically in the New 52. So let's just reboot. Captain America is this, World War II veteran, and he's just being like, we literally open and it's like rereading the Ultimates or something.
I wouldn't like that.
I don't think
feel
it's
like the same thing
necessary
they did.
either.
I don't either. I think it would be silly. I don't expect that's going to happen. I expect what they're doing is they're refreshing, which is, to me, the same thing they did when they started Marvel Now.
Yeah.
But maybe a little more of a hard reset. Like, the characters that are left when this is over with, they're kind of at square one, Not that everything that's happened before is gone, but kind of like they're picked up and set back, in a place where there's not all this convolution going on with everything that's going on with each of the characters. I mean, I would imagine if they come through something like this, who knows what they're going to pull, and who knows what world they're going to live on,
Mm.
Do you think Thor will still be a woman at the end of this?
No.
You
Is
think
Thor a
Captain?
woman?
Yeah. You think Captain America will still be Falcon?
No.
You think that Spider-Man will still be Doc Ock?
Really?
You think that Star-Lord will still be Chris Pratt?
Yes.
Keep going, Alan.
Do you think that
Okay.
Wolverine will still be dead?
I don't know.
And that Professor X
Yeah.
will still be bald?
Is that a thing?
Well, he'll still be bald if he's alive.
All right, next news item.
Well, who do you think's going to die in Secret Wars? Bold predictions right here. Bold predictions.
Nick
Who
Fury.
doesn't make it?
Nick
Okay.
Fury, The
All right,
Watcher.
really. Okay, guys. All right.
Is that good?
Spider-Man.
That's terrible. Really?
Thor?
Okay. Let's talk about something else, shall we?
Mm-hmm, please.
Mr. Fantastic.
In the vein of Marvel news,
All the Fantastic Four.
the other day I saw. Yeah, that's actually really likely. So Marvel announced, they're doing these Netflix TV shows. Do they have a name for that? I mean, I know it's going to lead into like this Defenders crossover series, but
Marvel Netflix.
do they have a name for these series? These street level Marvel shows,
Martflix. Marvflix.
So
Marvelix.
Daredevil is coming out on April 10th
I like it, Alan.
on Netflix, and when it does, they're dropping the whole season, on April 10th.
That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
On April 10th, it'll all be out. So I guess they're going to do that in typical Netflix fashion. And And we don't know when the next one's coming out, but the next one is to be the Jessica Jones, a.k.a. Jessica Jones. Did you see who they cast as Jessica Jones?
David Tennant.
No. Can we please bring this back to some semblance of sanity, please?
You told me that they cast. You texted me that this morning or last night.
I said they cast him in Jessica Jones, not as Jessica Jones.
Oh.
Yes. They
Jeez.
cast that.
I would have watched if it was.
Oh
David
gosh,
Tennant
you're
as
gonna watch
Jessica
it.
Jones.
Get real. It's Kristen Ritter. She was in Breaking Bad.
Who'd she play?
I don't know. I haven't seen Breaking Bad.
I'll have
She
to
also.
Google her name.
She's in that. You'll know her if you see her. Anyway, they did announce that David Tennant will be starring in the show as the Purple Man.
He's not purple.
So.
Oh yeah, she played. What's her name?
He's not purple, but he is extremely pale. I saw a photo of David Tennant yesterday, and he looked like a space alien. He looked like a gray.
We're sorry, David, if you're listening to this. The opinions of Seth do not reflect the opinions of Ancillary Characters as a whole.
Yeah, she was in 27 Dresses.
Ooh, a classic.
Okay.
I gotta say, let's have a 27 Dresses night. We'll get together, the three of us.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah, it is.
She's got her own sitcom. It's like the Bee and something.
Don't
Department
trust the Bee.
23 or something like that. I've never seen it, but
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm just looking at her Wikipedia page. She was Jane in Breaking Bad.
So David Tennant as a...
Don't Trust the Bee is actually the epitaph that will be on my tombstone.
So is the B for Breedlove?
Oh no, I thought we were abbreviating. Never mind.
We were.
That's what the name of the
David
show is.
Do you think that it is? It's the name of the show. David Tennant as a villain? I mean, the Purple Man is typically a villain.
I think he could play that character well. I saw him in that one show that was a knockoff of a show he played in Britain. He wasn't a villain, but he was a jerk. And
he was a villain in the fourth Harry Potter movie.
I haven't seen that one yet.
He was amazing in Fright Night. He was like the best part of Fright Night.
I never did watch that.
That movie was fantastic. I actually have watched it quite a bit. I saw it in theaters twice, and I've watched it probably 3 or 4
You
times.
saw that in theaters twice?
What's it about?
Yeah. It's really quite good. It's this kid who lives in this house outside of Las Vegas, and their next door neighbor, spoilers, he turns out to be a vampire.
What?
And
Colin Farrell,
killing.
right?
Colin Farrell is a vampire, and the kid who was Chekhov in Star Trek ends up teaming up with David Tennant's character, and Tennant plays like this David Blaine type like crazy magician guy in Vegas who's like wearing black and eye makeup and all this stuff. Yeah, and he was fantastic in it.
Yeah, there's a person in here named Imogen Poots who played somebody.
That's a real person. She's an actress. Her name is.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware of who she is, but it was the fact that you called her Imogen.
What's the name?
Pronounce it.
I think it's Imogene, isn't it?
Something like that. But it totally looks like Imogen Poots.
Imogen.
Imogen Poots.
You know what? Gosh. I apologize to the listeners.
Her middle name is Gay. Imogen Gay Poots. I'm not sure who her parents are, but I want to shake their hand.
Yeah, so do I.
David Tennant, everyone. He is the Purple Man in a.k.a. Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the Purple Man is Jessica Jones?
Yes,
well,
exactly.
That is a twist.
So, did you guys see that Fantastic Four trailer that went up today?
I did.
So,
Yes, I did, yeah.
So everyone's waiting for this to be the worst movie ever made. Can you agree on that?
That's what everybody's waiting on, but will it be? Huh?
I don't know. I mean, after that whole thing came out about Doom being a blogger, I'm pretty sure everyone said, "Okay, here we go. This is going to be a train wreck."
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I like Chronicle, that movie Chronicle, quite a bit, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of the credit for that movie has to go to the director, because pulling
I
off a
agree.
found footage horror superhero movie and making it decent. I mean, everyone was crediting the screenwriter, what's his face, the douche. I can't remember that kid's name. I just know I don't like him. But the guy that wrote
The
that
douche.
movie. But I think most of the credit, I think that's his actual name. It's just the douche. Anyway,
The douche.
most of the credit has to go to the director, Josh Trank. So when I found out he was the director of this movie, I'm a big Fantastic Four fan, and I've let that be known on the show many times. I love Mark Waid's run. I love the Ultimate stuff, and this looks like it's very much an Ultimates take on the characters. I don't care, first of all, that Johnny Storm is Michael B. Jordan. I think that guy is fine.
Me too.
I don't know anything about him as an actor. It didn't bother me at all that he was playing that character.
No, me neither.
But I saw
It's
the
all
trailer
about now.
today, and
I'm mad about it.
I was bored from the first frame, and I was bored when it ended, and I've watched it twice since, and every time I watch it, it's just, to me, it just seems like a little paint-by-numbers superhero movie. And I'm hoping when they put out a more full trailer that we'll see more to it than that. But to me, this has done nothing for me, and I think the movie looks bad.
It really didn't show much as far as the characters being superheroes. I mean, I think we saw a glimpse of Ben Grimm being all rocky, and what's his name, Johnny, being all fiery, but it was like just a split second.
Yeah.
But I think the voiceover for the trailer sounded all menacing and cool. But then I saw somebody post on Twitter, the F4 trailer's voiceover becomes less serious when you realize it's just a post on Dr. Doom's Tumblr.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
That's what I read on Twitter.
Well, that's
think-
probably just someone's commentary. I don't think that's actually
Yeah.
supposed to be.
It's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were being legit. Like,
Yeah, he actually just texted his friend Josh, the director, was like, "Hey, what's up with that voiceover?" And he was like, "Oh, that's actually someone just reading a blurb from Von Doom or whatever his name is, his Tumblr."
Yeah. After that,
I just
that voiceover's in the movie, him talking about that, and it's showing like footage, and then after that, it's showing footage of like the whole wreck with the stuff with the Fantastic Four and the space and stuff. And then after all that menacing dialogue or monologue, that's monologue, you see him click send, step up, crack his knuckles, and say, "I really showed them,"
Really?
because that's what
That would
villains
be great.
say.
That's what they
So
say.
Alan, like, what did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was a trailer. I mean, it didn't get me super stoked or anything, but it was cool, I guess, maybe. I didn't think it was a bad trailer, but it was just kind of a glimpse. It didn't really do much for me to get me excited for the movie, but it was cool, you know, what else. I'll see the movie, and, I mean, they didn't need to sell me on it. I haven't seen the first two, but I'll see this one.
I didn't think the trailer was that bad. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't think it looked like a superhero movie at all. A lot of people were.
Really, you didn't catch up on the fact that it was. I mean, it had all the same tone and everything as like Man of Steel. It was the dramatic building music, the voiceover showing the origin. Very little of them as superheroes. I mean, it also reminded me of the Ant-Man trailer, just without some of the comedy.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected from it, but it didn't. It wasn't what I expected. It was different. I honestly don't think the trailer was much of a representation of what we're going to see. I mean, it was a teaser, and we barely saw anything. So I don't know. I'm not going to write this off as, this because of this teaser trailer that was like a minute long, that this is going to be a terrible movie. The other stuff that I've heard about it made me think it was going to be terrible more than the trailer did.
I like the Ant-Man trailer.
Ew. Oh, gosh.
It was
was
playing
alright.
the other day when I was in the theater, and he said, "Is it too late to change the name?" And I LOL'd. Because Ant-Man's kind of a lame name, but it's what I'm stuck with. So he wanted to change it. So it's Meta.
Paul, do we have any other stories to talk about?
Why, you just really wanting to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can move on. Let's move on.
Hi, and welcome to Take It or Leave It, the part of the show where we describe a few books and tell you whether, based on that description and our thoughts and feelings, whether we'll leave them on the shelf to rot and be found one day by someone scavenging through the ruined homes and bookstores of the apocalypse and be read by them, or are we going to keep it in our hearts forever in a safe where those people can't read, so they're only left with crappy books because they can't get into the safes, because they no longer have tools, because it is the apocalypse.
The apocalypse.
Can I start us off?
Yeah, do it.
I've only read one new book since the last episode,
Aw.
and that is Star Wars #1,
Aw.
written by Jason Aaron, art by John Cassaday. And I know you guys are going to want to talk about this, right? You already read it, right?
I did.
I haven't read it
Okay,
yet.
Paul?
It's just like the one book I'd read too. No, I've
But
read
you
like
got to
three.
go ahead and talk about it. It's okay.
Okay. Well, there isn't a ton to talk about in terms of story. But I wanted to say that John Cassaday's art is awesome in this. I thought it was really good. They do a great job of putting you in that Star Wars world, and Jason Aaron does an amazing job of writing those characters as they should be, I think. And I liked it. I'm gonna say take it, and that's my review of Star Wars #1.
Wow.
That's it.
I'll add to that and say that we see some Han Solo wandering around, being all, roguish and scampish, and we see Chewbacca covering them with a sniper blaster rifle. I guess you'd still call it a rifle, even though it's a laser gun. And we see Princess Leia being all diplomatic, but not really because she shoots things. And Luke, when he's got the lightsaber, is all. I thought it did a much better job in one issue than all that I read of the Brian Wood Star Wars that I ended up dropping, as far as
Yes.
presenting the characters in a way that made me interested in what they were doing.
I think in one issue this did better with this world than any of the comics that I've read. I mean, it was up there with like some of the old books I used to read when I was super into Star Wars, like the Hand of Thrawn trilogy and stuff. It just captured the mood and the characters so well.
I agree, and it was it had an interesting story to it too. I mean, it was basically the idea was the Han Solo was meeting with the Empire on behalf of the Hutts, and he actually knocked out the Hutt emissaries and was pretending to be them, so that he could sabotage their weapon facility. And things go south, as they happen to do, and then they're trying to escape, and that's where it ends.
Yep.
Paul, do you have a book?
Yeah, I do. You want me to go now?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What?
the most recent issue that I've read, I'm a little behind. I've got a couple
Okay.
sitting
I
on
haven't
my
read
desk.
this recent one yet.
This one's issue 39. It's like maybe like 2 months ago or something. So ever since everything with the Northampton Act, the arc at Northampton kind of wrapped up, which was a really, really good arc. You had Ross Campbell on the art, which was just, I just wish he would have stayed forever, honestly. Things have been kind of weird, and they've been kind of pushing the Turtles in different directions. Like, I don't know. They've got this Santel Lauco guy on art, by the way, who did the City Fall story, and his stuff is very good, but I don't know. I feel like it's been kind of stalling for a while, if that makes sense.
Like Stalin, but not Tolstoy. Not Tolstoy.
Yeah.
Trotsky.
It's just been stalling for a while. I mean, they've been kind of building up to something, I feel like. Basically, the Turtles are in a weird position where they're trying to decide whether or not they should be focused on stopping Shredder from taking over the city, or the Krang, who are trying to take over the entire dimension or whatever. So, I don't know. I feel like they need to get on with it, if that makes sense.
They do.
That being said, I did really enjoy this issue. There was the fans have been waiting for a long time for Bebop and Rocksteady to come into things, and they showed up. What was it at the end of City Fall? They kind of showed up.
Yeah, thereabouts. It's like right toward the end.
And they kind of been out of the picture for a while. They showed up again in this one, and there was some pretty funny stuff there. They really maintain the really goofy kind of appearance that they had in the old stuff, for fans. So I have enjoyed them being in there. I just feel like, Turtles has been a book that has really been really strong in terms of having good, solid arcs with a beginning and an end. And right now, I feel like this issue, as well as the last couple issues, have just been a kind of filler. So it's not that I didn't enjoy it, and it's not that I'm still not liking the series, but this is the first time in a while that I felt like it kind of isn't sure where it's going, or maybe it is sure and they're just stalling.
So you're saying the rose is off the bloom?
I'm definitely not saying that.
Why would you say that, Paul?
I'm not saying that.
Lennon's who I was meaning to say a minute ago. My brain just fell off, though. It fell out.
Guy.
So yeah, I'm taking it, but I feel like it's in kind of a stale moment, which I haven't read the couple most recent issues, so I could be totally wrong, but anyway, that's where I'm at.
Having read a little Beyond You, I agree, but I think it does pick up a little more pretty soon. It's still a lot of build up, and discounting the most recent issue that I haven't read, they do. They're still leading up to something, but I have a feeling it's going to pay off.
Alan, why don't you talk about a book you read?
Okay. Well, recently I was on a plane, and I was flying on that plane. So I read a few books. One of them was Star Wars, which we already discussed, and another one was Avengers and New Avengers. I was only a few issues behind on those, and I caught up. I did read Avengers and New Avengers in the wrong order because one of them continued directly off the other one, so I was a bit confused. But they didn't have a warning saying read this before, or read whatever before you read this issue, or I totally overlooked that warning. But anyway, the most recent issue being, I think it's Avengers number 40 or 41, came out mid-January, whichever one it was. It's one of those issues that something happens you've been wanting to happen for a long, long time. And when it does, it's glorious. It brings me great joy. And it's so well done by Hickman. Hickman's a good job at doing that. It's one of those where he builds up tension, and stuff from many, many, many issues back starts to pay off. And you get to see some important steps in this whole incursion storyline. Basically, this is the setup for what's happening. You've got the Avengers, like the Shield Avengers is what I think Hickman calls them, which is like Captain America, Sue Storm, and the Shield agents, Captain Marvel and a few others, Falcon, who's now Captain America, I guess, and they're looking for the Illuminati because they found out that they blew up a planet, and so they're at odds with each other. And then you've got the weird Avengers, who aren't really the new Avengers, but they're like because they're not in the new Avengers book, they've been in the standard Avengers, but they're like the guys you'd never heard of, like Roberto. I can't even remember his superhero name. They just call him Roberto. Sunspot, maybe? I don't know. Some of those guys, they've got the little zebra kids. They call them the World Avengers or something like that. Anyway, so there's a big confrontation between the Shield Avengers and the Illuminati. Anyway, and things are getting tense and bad things are about to happen, and they're trying to negotiate. Well, then Roberto and his Avengers step in and are like, okay, guys, no, you need to kiss and make up, and we need to work together. And all of that's really cool. There's a bunch of negotiations, there's a bunch of fighting, there's some turncloaks, there's some lots of neat stuff. It's a lot of dialogue, but it's really cool. But then the plan they form and the fallout of that plan is just awesome. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil things, but loved it. Take it. Boom.
Take it. I'm behind on this. I need to catch up. I'm like 3 issues out.
They've been really good.
Yeah, we've all been loving it. But all right, so I think we're done. I think we got to talk about comics. We got in some news. It was a big episode, and now we're wrapping it up. So, I wanted to talk about something real quick. I am making a movie with some friends. It is called Minerva Monster. It is about a strange creature sighting that happened here in Ohio, where I live, back in 1978. Production on it finished back at the beginning of December. We're editing now. And the movie, at this point, we're launching a Kickstarter, I think this Sunday or Monday, the 1st or the 2nd, to produce the DVDs, basically, of the movie. So if you want to look up the Kickstarter, you can. The movie's called Minerva Monster. I'll be on like 3 different shows this week promoting it. And if you want to help me produce the movie, look it up. If you're a listener of the show, you might like it. You're basically just guaranteeing yourself a copy of it on DVD. But basically, in any venue I'm going to be pimping this. So I wanted to mention it on this show. So
Yeah.
And as long as we're pimping things. Oh, sorry. What, Paul?
Oh, go ahead. What else are you gonna pimp on the show?
I was going to pimp Turtle Jump, actually.
Do it.
Hey, that's us.
We got a website recently.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
What-
TurtleJump.
It's turtlejump.com. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
you know
We
what
don't
should
have
do?
any. I don't. What's that?
You don't have any what? You just keep stopping mid thought.
I started talking and then you started talking. We don't have like a official URL yet. So for any other information on the movie, you have to go to facebook.com/Minerva Monster. But what should
Is
we
it
do,
taken?
Paul?
Is Minerva Monster?
No, I own MinervaMonster.com and I own SmallTownMonsters.com, which is the name of the series we're planning on doing, but I haven't done anything with the URLs yet.
Word. I was gonna say we need to do a book it for next week's episode.
Next week's episode, that's soon.
There is no way.
How about like
You
2
guys can't
episodes
read.
from now?
You guys can't
You're
read
gonna have
5 issues in a week.
There's no way this week I can read anything. There's like 0 time if I plan on playing any Destiny, which I do.
How about we schedule it 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, that's fine. I'm just.
Okay.
Do you have something in mind?
Yeah.
Skull Kickers, Volume 1.
Volume 1? Didn't we already do that?
We did Skull Kickers, Paul.
No, we didn't. I've never read it. Unless you guys did it when I wasn't here, but I've never read Skull Kickers.
Oh, it was in that episode that we released and kept from Paul.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm down
fact,
with Skull Kickers.
A while back, I sent a text and said, hey, we should do Skull Kickers, and you guys were like, okay, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, we
So maybe
said
that's
that.
why you think we did it.
Yeah. It sounds good. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I support this.
Skull Kickers. Book it. It's our
Kicking the
first book it.
skulls.
First book it of 2015, Skull Kickers by Jim Zub. Alright, you can find us on the web, ancillarycharacters.blogspot.com. You can find us on Twitter at ancillarytweets. You can find me on Twitter at SethBreedsLove. You can find Paul on Twitter at JollyGreen05. You can find Alan on Twitter at KAllenBoone. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/ancillarycharacters. We record whenever we have a free evening, so I don't know when we're recording next week, but probably Tuesday or Thursday, since that's usually how it goes, unless it's Monday. Anyway, that does it, I think, for this week's show. It's been a while. I can't remember what I'm supposed to be saying here at the end, so thanks for listening. What a weird exit song.
LOL.
It's the best.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Wow, wow, wow. Catch.
All right.
Wow, I could barely understand half of what you guys said through that episode.
Yeah, it's the same for me.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't have any trouble hearing anybody.
It was terrible.
It's 'cause
At
you
the
dragged
very
us
end,
down.
one of you guys lagged.